name's Sean McGee.
And I'm Kyle Nordman.
And we're pilots for Air Bravo.
Here at Air Bravo, we work a 6 days on, 4 days off rotation. And for our days on, we can be scheduled for a mix of day on-call, night on-call, or flex, which is a 24-hour on-call shift. We also sometimes will work a 12-hour dedicated shift, so we'll work, for instance, 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. or 9 p.m. to 9 a.m., where we are actually physically at the airport on call on 10 minutes notice to go do medevac flights. Air Bravo has bases in Thunder Bay, Timmins, Elliott Lake, and Toronto City Centre Airport, with more to come in the near future. At Air Bravo, we don't believe that pilots should have to pay for their own training when they come here to work for us, like pilots do at some other companies that are based here out of Thunder Bay. But all we ask is that our pilots make a one-year commitment to stay with the company, and if they do, then their training is at no cost to them. Air Bravo is the largest provider of medevac services to the Government of Ontario through Orange. We do more medevac flights and carry more patients than anyone else.
The average months of flying can vary based on what kind of trips or calls you're doing, and it can vary anywhere from 60 to about 100 hours, but the average is usually about 75 hours a month of flying.
In order to be hired as an FO by Air Bravo, you require a commercial pilot's license and an instrument rating. But in general, we hire people that have more than 500 hours, because in order to be a first officer for the Ministry of Health contract or to do medevac, you need 500 hours total time. So generally, that is what we use.
As I mentioned earlier, you can get hired at Air Bravo with less than 500 hours of total time. Generally, tasks that those pilots would be doing could be working at our Elliott Lake base doing dispatch, or they could also be at any of the other bases working ramp or other administrative duties that could be required.
In order to be a captain at Air Bravo, for our medevac contract, you need over 2,000 hours of total time, 500 hours of pilot and command time, and you also have to have your ATPL exams written before you can fly as a captain for medevac. Pay at Air Bravo is definitely above industry standard. Everyone who works here makes considerably more money than our counterparts at other companies. Air Bravo has 20 pilots based here in Thunder Bay and approximately 50 whole system. Air Bravo operates under two different kinds of medevac contracts with the Ontario government. The first is called the Standing Offer Agreement, or SOA medevac, in which the crews that are working on that contract basically we're on 1 hour call out. So when they need a medevac, Orange or the Ministry of Health will call Air Bravo, an aircraft and flight crew will be assigned, and then that flight crew is given 1 hour to get airborne out of Thunder Bay or out of any of our other bases. The other kind of contract that we do is our dedicated contract, in which we actually have a flight crew that is with the aircraft at all times, 24 hours, and that crew has 10 minutes from the acceptance of a flight in order to make ATC contact. So generally those flights are more critical. Air Bravo operates 8 Platus PC-12-45 aircraft, and of those 5 are based here in Thunder Bay. This is a perfect aircraft for medevac operations because it has a large cargo door that allows us to easily load and unload patients. It's a fast aircraft with a true airspeed of 260 knots, and it's very fuel efficient. With our one PT6 engine up front, it burns approximately 2/3 the fuel that a similar King Air aircraft would use. So over the course of a year, that's hundreds of thousands of dollars of fuel savings for an aircraft that's able to do essentially the same and more than the King Air is able to do. The Platus is very well designed for northern operations and was designed so from the very beginning. The Platus is very capable in terms of being able to get into and out of short, unimproved airstrips, and the performance that we find in that really makes it a lot more comfortable to go into and out of short places.
The perks of working at Air Bravo include that it's actually quite an interesting job. For example, yesterday I was down Toronto City Centre Airport, mixing it up with some of the busiest airspace in all of Canada. And then today I was up landing on a lake, so there's quite a lot of diverse flying that we get to do. Other benefits include we're home, so if you've So if you've got a family, that's definitely an advantage. And the above average pay is also very nice. The Pilatus is powered by a PT6-67-67B, 1600 horsepower engine. We get 6% of our thrust from jet thrust coming off the exhaust, and that power is then turned into the four-bladed, full-feathering Hartzell propeller. The landing gear on the Pilatus is of the trailing link type. It's actually the same type that's used on the F-18, and it makes our job as pilots really, really easy to get nice greaser landings in every time. Another cool thing that the Pilatus has is it's got one on each wing. It's called an angle of attack indicator, or an AOA vane. And what that does is it measures the actual angle of attack